if she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one. She hates Israel. At the same time, in her own way, she hates the Arab population because the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel.
Reasons why Kamala Harris lost the election. Kamala Harris, America's groundbreaking first female vice president, entered the race with historic significance and high hopes. But as election results poured in, it became clear she had lost. What went wrong? In this video, we'll explore the 5 major reasons behind her loss, from campaign strategies to voter perceptions. Let's unpack this historic election.
Let me say, my heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright.
1. Declining public approval. Our journey begins with one undeniable challenge: declining public approval. Even during her time as vice president, Kamala Harris struggled to maintain favorable ratings. Poll after poll showed her approval dipping below 40%, a number political analysts called a warning sign. Several factors contributed to this decline. Harris was often criticized for not taking the lead on pressing issues. Immigration, for instance, became a focal point of frustration as the administration faced backlash for failing to address border concerns effectively. To many voters, this signaled a lack of decisive leadership, and in an election year, approval ratings matter, especially when trying to expand beyond your base. Her handling of immigration came under intense scrutiny. Opponents pointed to rising border crossings and criticized the administration's lack of a clear solution. While Harris attempted to defend her position, the damage was done in the court of public opinion. Hey, wait, I would like you that is watching this video to give it a like and also to subscribe to the channel. Struggling to connect with voters.
I think that, to be very honest with you, I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled.
Here, Harris's charisma shone in certain settings, but critics argued she often came across as rehearsed, failing to resonate with middle-class voters and rural communities. This was particularly problematic in battleground states, where authenticity can make or break a campaign. Some voters described her as distant and out of touch, a perception that her opponents didn't hesitate to exploit in campaign ads. States like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Arizona slipped from her grasp. Analysts attributed this to a lack of meaningful voter outreach in these critical regions.
What's your message to Michigan voters in terms of the economy? We have auto workers who are being laid off.
Well, let's start with this. I come from the middle class, and I'll never forget where I come from. My mother worked very hard. She, by the time I was a teenager, was able to save up for our first home.
Economic frustrations. While Kamala Harris wasn't solely responsible for the economy as vice president, she shared the administration's burden of blame for rising inflation and high living costs. Voters felt the pinch of rising prices on everything from housing to gas. Even as the administration touted job growth, many Americans felt left behind, creating fertile ground for the opposition's message of change. Her opponents used this dissatisfaction to paint a picture of economic mismanagement, which resonated with voters seeking stability. 4. Campaign strategy missteps. Every election hinges on strategy, and Harris's campaign faced significant hurdles, from inconsistent messaging to neglecting key voter demographics. This lack of focus confused voters. Was she aiming to rally progressives, or was she pivoting to appeal to moderates? The mixed signals hurt her campaign's momentum. Additionally, her campaign allocated fewer resources to swing states, banking instead on solidifying urban strongholds. This miscalculation cost her dearly in regions where margins were razor thin. 5. A unified and energized opposition. Harris's opponent ran a highly organized campaign, targeting key demographics that felt neglected by the current administration. From targeted ads to viral social media campaigns, the opposition left no stone unturned. This unified front contrasted sharply with the challenges Harris faced within her own party. Some factions within the Democratic Party expressed doubts about her candidacy, further weakening her position, a campaign to reflect on. In the end, Kamala Harris's loss wasn't due to a single issue. It was a culmination of challenges. From declining approval ratings to economic frustrations and strategic missteps, the election highlighted the complexities of modern politics. What lessons can future candidates learn from this race? And what does this mean for America's political future? Let us know your thoughts below.